What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So we are now into week 8. I actually waited a little while because it's a little over week 8, but I wanted to wait for the numbers to come in for unemployment. So we got those numbers in yesterday. So that's why I'm posting this video today. Now we do see some changes, and guess what? There's a pullback. So Democrats have lost some seats in Congress. And so I'll explain everything to you. We're going to see up and down. But just based on the information that we have currently, we're looking at Democrats now at less seats than they were in week 7. Okay, I'll explain all of that in this video. But first off, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have a political science degree, and for about 15 plus years, I was working in political campaigns. I even managed a campaign. So that's a little bit about me, but I want to know about you. So let me know in the comments below where you're watching from and what do you think we'll see in the 2026 midterm election. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you guys, I want to show you the map. So this is all of the districts in the U.S., the House of Representatives. So that's what we're looking at right now. And currently, Republicans have 220 seats, give or take. Now, you are going to have some politicians that are going to resign or some politicians that are going to do early retirement. But right now, for sake of argument, let's just say Republicans are at 220, Democrats are at 215. Now, in order to have control of the House, you need 218 seats. So you see Republicans are over that 218 mark. Even if they have a few people that resign, they'll still be over the 218. Or if they have 2 people that resign, they'll still be over 218. Now, if we see 3 people resign, that's when we're going to have a situation where we could see a change. We could actually see Democrats take control of the House before the midterm election, but that's very unlikely. So right now, Democrats need to net 3 seats in order to take back control in 2026, so in the 2026 midterm. So I just wanted to show you this is where we are right now with our current map. And the reason why this is important is because when we start looking at this AI model, we're looking at a prediction of how many seats Democrats can gain in the 2026 midterm election. So I already said that Democrats need to net 3 seats. So when we look at this, and let me just show you the different categories here, because the way that this AI model is put together is it's taking historical factors and it's created a formula that will calculate how many seats that it thinks that the Democrats will be able to gain or the Republicans will be able to gain. In this case, Democrats have the advantage, so that's why we're saying how many seats the Democrats can gain. Now, if we see this change, if we see this model change, then we could see Republicans being favored and Republicans gaining seats. So let's go ahead and take a look. So first thing here we look at is the generic ballot. Okay, then we're going to look at the presidential job approval, the economy, special elections, and then seats at risk. Okay, now let me show you exactly what all this means. So when we zoom in here, we look at the generic ballot. So we did see a change in the generic ballot. It went from 4.8% to now 3.5%. Okay, so Democrats have an advantage over on the generic ballot of 3.5%. So it's down just a little bit. Looking at presidential job approval, it's staying pretty steady at 42%. That means 42% of the current population feels that Trump is doing a good job. However, that means 58% feel that he is not doing a good job. Okay, looking at the economy. Now, we will have some changes here when it comes to GDP. We're waiting for those numbers. CPI as well, we're waiting for those numbers. And so hopefully we'll get the numbers for GDP and CPI this month. But right now we did get information on unemployment. Unemployment has gone up. It's now 4.6%. Now, we want unemployment to be low. We don't want unemployment to be high. So if it's going up, that's not a good sign. And this has economists nervous because when you're looking at unemployment going up, that means our economy is starting to slow down. If our economy slows down, we could drop into a recession. So that's the fear there. And so that's why they're watching that very closely. Okay, looking at special elections, it's staying steady at 3%. And when we're looking at seats at risk, Democrats are net 7. Okay, and let me show you where I'm getting these numbers from. So this is from the Cook Political Report, and we're looking at the toss-up. So these 2 in the middle here. So we're not looking at the lean Democrat. We're not looking at likely Democrat. We're not looking at lean Republican or likely Republican. We want to see the races that are really close right now. And if you look at the races that are really close right now, you see Republicans have 12 seats that are considered toss-ups right now, really close races. When we're looking at Democrats, you see 5 seats. So Democrats only have 5 seats that are really close right now. And so that puts Republicans at risk. And that's why we have that net 7 for Democrats, because Democrats have less seats that are toss-ups than Republicans. Okay, and so now let's get to the final calculation here. So looking at the final calculation, this is all the information that we've gathered, all the formula there, it's already calculated. And then it gives us this number here, 3.29. That equates to 33 seats. Now, I know you're saying we were in the 40s just a couple of weeks ago. Why are we now at 33? Well, we're now at 33 because there are a few changes. And those changes, I went over them, but I'll just highlight them one more time. When it comes to the generic ballot, it's now 3.5%. So we lost almost a point there. And so that's why we saw some changes. With unemployment, now unemployment will actually help Democrats, because if we're looking at unemployment rising, that means that macro index is going to be in the negative, and it's going to favor Democrats. And so the only real thing that we saw that changed is the generic ballot, and that's what's driving these numbers down. So let's look, and we'll start from week 1 and we'll move all the way through just so you guys see how Democrats have been doing, or how things have been going. So we had week 1, Democrats were at 11, so 11 seats that they would gain. That's the prediction. At week 2, we saw 20 seats. At week 3, we saw 21 seats. At week 4, we saw 37 seats. At week 5, we saw 40 seats. At week 6, we saw 45 seats. At week 7, we were at 43 seats. And now at week 8, we're at 33 seats. And so this is good news for Democrats. However, it was better news last week, and it was better news the week before that. But the important thing that we need to focus on, how many seats do Democrats need to take back control of the House? They only need to net 3 seats. Right now, they're looking at netting 33 seats, which would mean that they would have that majority and some. So they have a little bit of a cushion there. I know redistricting is on the table right now. There are a lot of different states that are trying to see if they can redistrict. That could benefit Republicans, but by how many seats? It's not going to benefit them by that much. And when we're looking at some of the latest news when it comes to redistricting, like Indiana, they made the decision not to redistrict, and they did that against President Trump's wishes. So will we see some other states, Republican states, that decide that they're not going to redistrict? We already know that Democrats have started redistricting in different states. California is one of them. And so will we see more Democratic states redistrict? So that's something that we'll be waiting for. And so redistricting is kind of on the sideline of all of the talk right now when it comes to the 2026 midterms. When we're just looking at the numbers, when we're just looking at the current policies and are they working, that right now is benefiting Democrats because people are saying they want change. I want to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more. And remember, stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.